Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest edition of RE412, where I take old stories I've narrated and update them to modern audio standards. This particular story is called Broken Seals, written by Fab1. I was there when the last human died by our hands. We met them first about 200 cycles back, as their mining ships entered one of our newer colonies. They were not the first species that we encountered in the endless void between the stars. The first were the Talanks, who do not wish for any contact, staying isolated in their part of the galaxy. Soon, others followed, each of those we befriended until we formed a loose coalition, exchanging goods and knowledge for the betterment of each of us. The first contact between the humans and us was peacefully. We started trading resources and gave each other gifts, as we did before with the various other species in our coalition. We thought that we could add this newly found species to our union. The written histories are not clear enough on what went wrong. Some documents state that the humans started the war by sending death and destruction by attacking one of our fledgling colony worlds. Other sources claim that these humans were pirates, vile criminals not attached to human dominion on their way to plunder riches. The third theory, put forward by some deranged individuals, weave an unbelievable fairy tale in which we were the aggressors, destroying one of the human worlds to gain access to its rare elements. Whatever the reason for this war may be, it soon became a horrible and atrocious battle on both sides. It seems that the humans lost any sanity and started to use nuclear fission weapons on our cities, killing indiscriminately our soldiers, our civilians, and our worlds. I will not deny that we asked for help from the other species to ram our fleet and soldiers through their armada, but we stayed our hands on the use of nuclear fission or biologic weapons, which cannot be said about the humans. Of the 5 worlds that we lost, 2 were outright turned into nuclear wastelands, unfit for any life for the next uncountable cycles. The remaining 3rd worlds were now under a quarantine after a wretched species released some kind of fast mutating pathogen into the atmosphere, killing every last one of our kind using a virulent sickness that always resulted in a slow, agonizing death. The other members of the coalition answered our call swiftly after we brought them evidence about the unhonorable methods employed by the humans. Our combined force pushed through the remaining ships of the human dominion, and our soldiers cleansed their worlds, until we arrived at the Hellworld, a planet whose surface was infested by their buildings and industries. The lush, plant life pushed back until almost nothing of the natural beauty of the ecology was left. Our fleet pushed through the human defense, obliterated their ships, and left a huge debris field around their home world. I landed with the rest of my combat team in the bigger city almost after everything was already over. Our soldiers eradicated the last remnants of this vile species. Only the command bunker was left, and we were on our way to breach it. My team and I fought against the last human soldiers and killed the last defenders, until we stood right in front of their throne room. We corralled the last few humans in front of us, and our war leader executed each of them, one after another, until the last one, the human leader. The human grinned a bloody smile at our war leader, and as he knelt before him, our leaders had a laser emitter drawn and pointed it directly at the head of the last human. "The seals are broken," spat the human. "You do not know what you've started." These were the last words of this wretched race, whatever they may mean. Our leader did not answer and simply pressed the activator on his emitter, burning a hole through the skull of the human leader. As I said, I was there. I've seen how the last human died at our hands. This was 10 cycles ago. Just today, a luxury yacht from one of our people raced into our system, burning through the faster-than-light engine, ignoring all safety procedures. As soon as it entered real space, it started broadcasting an emergency signal. The yacht's homeworld had been attacked by 4 giant ships from unknown species. Attached to the emergency signal was a message in human language. "The first seal was opened, and I heard, as it were, a noise of thunder, And I saw, and behold, a white ship. And he that steered it had the fire of the sun, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth, conquering, and to conquer. And then the second seal was opened, and there I saw another ship that was red, and the might was given to its helmsmen to take the peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. After the third seal was broken, a black ship arrived, and in the hands of the helmsman was a pair of balances. And he said, 10 deaths for each life taken. Then the fourth seal was opened, and a pale ship arrived, and the name of the helmsman was Death. And hell followed him, and power was given upon him to kill with light, and with hunger, and with death. End of story. Story number 2. Luck, written by TheOneFearlessFalcon. Every species has its talent. It's a rule of reality, as far as we know. A skill that no one can beat them at. Take the strongest, toughest martial artist against a Ko'amlan, barely old enough to read, on a hand-to-hand fight, and he'd be taken out in a stretcher, while the Ko'amlan will barely suffer a scratch. A single Zagyamak can outthink an entire university chess team in logic games. No species makes weapons like the Crick. Kirak spaceships are the epitome of efficiency and luxury. But humans, by the stars above, don't get me started on humans. Humans are slightly below galactic average in a majority of aspects. Not too strong, not too fast, maybe a little smarter than average. But for the most part, it is only the extraordinary record breakers that truly measure up to other species. And yet, they could likely conquer the galaxy. Why? Because of their inherent talent. Luck. Humans seem to hold the favor of reality itself. Luck is incredibly difficult to quantify, but it seems to influence as necessary. From what little of the super genius vlog have figured out, it seems to increase if there are more humans in one place, or if the human is in danger. Stars forbid the whole race is never threatened at once. I've seen a human fix a broken, overheating, about to explode warp drive. Normally, this requires decades of training, or a few months as a raw killier. But this human simply popped open a nearby hairdryer, exclaimed, "This ought to fit," and moved the cheap circuit board into the place of a broken Cortex card. The drive was working fine within minutes. The human said he MacGyvered it. When we reached port for repairs, the local Zarblacks told us the odds of that working was some 0.000001%, give or take a quintillionth. The warp drive never worked again. But the human lived. Bullets and lasers fly past them and guns jam for the best marksmen. Poisons used in them happened to be expired and useless. Sabotage attempts helped them in the long run. Such incredible luck is a threat to all races, should they turn hostile. The reason that we have not attempted to quell them is twofold. 1. We do not know, nor do we want to know, what would happen if their whole species were threatened with genocide. The backlash of misfortune upon us would be staggering. 2. The humans are completely unaware of their power. New to the galactic stage, most species realize they are stronger or smarter than most. Growing up with no other species to compare against makes most species see themselves as average. They do not realize how lucky they are. Growing up on the richest garden world in the known galaxy, dominating the mineral market by getting lucky with rare deposits wherever they mine. We have led them to believe that they are the ultimate entrepreneurs. The only other species that does not know its true talent was the Zombulans, who have the truly obscure talent of making the best damn gumbo in existence. Commander Zarbox, we are preparing a forbidden weapon from the predecessor races, one capable of eradicating a race's skill. We must do it for the sake of the galaxy, even though the humans have been nothing but kind. Should they turn on us, the galaxy could be in danger. It can only be used once, and I'm including the launch codes in this message. Please, for the sake of the galaxy's races, stop the humans before they find out their power. High-Tech Priest Kamkara. Ambassador Leon looked up from his tablet in the United Species Council, laughing to himself. He noticed the other ambassadors glancing at each other with worried looks. "Well," he began, addressing the council, "we sure were lucky Mr. Kankara hit reply all, seeing as this meeting was called to discuss the current issue with invasive mosquitoes on other planets. I motion we use this forbidden weapon to wipe out the talent of being annoying. Any objections?" End of story. I'd greatly like to thank our Tier 5 channel members, Caspar Arnholt, John Creighton, Manatharia, 050, Dragzoon WRE, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.